Week 3 FMP reflection. I started my film proposal, and at first I was somewhat confused as I usually start my proposal alongside my research, but regardless, I got started with it. This year, instead of doing what I usually do, where I usually bullet point everything for every section, decided to paragraph each section so I could go into depth on what I wanted to create in my film proposal. I looked at my treatment to give me a help on how to structure it, and I was able to finish it in one session just before lunch. After this, I started my statement of intent where I talked about my concept, target audience, potential clientele, and many more. This felt like every bit of task I've done for concept combined, the SWOT analysis, UAL proposal, and film proposal, so I quickly finished it quite early, facing no minimal problems. The only thing that was in my way was my computer not being connected to the server, which meant I had to go up to the third floor to grab a laptop. When I finished this, an opportunity to start my initial research before I finished the concept area. I created a PowerPoint presentation for my target audience to research. I got started envisioning my potential demographics, which I said was young adults feel much more connected to their devices compared to the average person. I then started my psychographics presentation, and I named the interests of my potential audience, which wasn't difficult, because I had a specific vision for a bit of time. So, even before going into FMP, finally I decided to create a statement and annotate it with the qualities that my ideal viewer would have. After my target audience research, I decided to complete the final task or concept by heading off to do research. This was initial research. Just like the target audience research, I created a PowerPoint presentation, but for this task I decided to do some research on the themes of on topics of my concept, like things like chatbots, loneliness, social anxiety, ethical concerns, and inspirations. I started off researching some facts about loneliness today and chatbot usage, and I included a report in my research in which I explained how it will help me move forward with my project. And as for inspirations, I consider myself to be a massive film fan, so naming films that cover the rise of AI and themes of loneliness wasn't a difficult task. I mentioned AI by Steven Spielberg and Her starring Joaquin Phoenix, and Perks of a Wallflower